everybody, my name is Ilya, and normally I come to you from or I have in the past, with motivational videos from Irritable Life on Instagram and YouTube, or Ilya Phoenix Yoga on Instagram and YouTube, and now that Ilya Phoenix Yoga has changed to Phoenix Fitness Flow. So I'm hoping to restart things again, a little bit different, to see if I can actually, continue with this and other things. But my motivational videos have usually come from, I'm going to show you a different one, from the Especialito, or fortune cookies, or like quotes, or poems, or whatever. But mostly, it's been from the Especialito. And they usually come like this. It's a Spanish newspaper here in the city, New York. And this one is Motivación Diaria, so it has daily motivations. And they have a lot of really good ones. But this is new, and I thought I'd try this. And this is Afirmaciones Positivas, or positive affirmations. So I figured I would do this, and hopefully we'll continue in the next coming weeks with a little bit more. So here we go. I usually translate. Hoy es el día perfecto para enfrentar nuevos desafíos y celebrar pequeñas victorias. Soy capaz. So, translated is, today is the perfect day to face new challenges and celebrate small victories. I am capable. And it brings me the perfect topic to bring me to my first motivational video after a really, really long time. And that's just celebrating the small victories. It's been so challenging this past year and years prior, but mostly, last year because of my dad's passing and my own health issues, everything getting worse, not getting any answers from the doctors other than, I don't know, it's probably the stress. And all of this has really made me stuck in so many different ways. I haven't started teaching Warrior Tai Chi Yoga. I haven't done these motivational videos. I even stopped posting because I'm like, why bother? And then there was the other thing of, the lighting's not great. My hair's not perfect. The backdrop, is kind of dark. It doesn't look that great. I have to move everything around so that my mess isn't seen. I look tired. And then you spiral and it's just snowballs, and you just go into that dark place, and then you do nothing, and then you regret and you feel bad for doing nothing. So what I've been trying to do little by little is celebrate the little victories being like, getting up in the morning. That's a victory in and of itself. If you're exhausted, in pain, or you're going through depression, that really dark place, you got up. That in and of itself should be a reason to celebrate, because it's hard to get yourself out of bed when you're in pain, when you're exhausted, when your mind is in that dark place. So that's a big deal. Taking a shower is a big deal. Like, okay, I showered, now let's move on to the next thing. Getting dressed, that's another one. I got dressed today, that sort of thing. You should really celebrate yourself, because even that can be a task, with depression, pain. If you're in a lot of pain, it can be exhausting or too painful. And the other part of this is that today is the perfect day to face a new challenge. And a new challenge can be a whole host of different things. It could be maybe running for the first time, if that's something that you always wanted to do to stay in shape, or just try a different workout. That's a big one, and it's not easy to do. So you start in small steps, like start small, start slow, and then work your way up. And it might seem unfeasible to a lot of people, but if you do start slow, they do have recommendations, run a certain amount of minutes, walk a certain amount of minutes, that sort of thing. And the more you do it, the more you're able to add on more things, and it feels like it is a big accomplishment, and it just feels amazing. had to restart the video because the phone dropped to the floor. So these are little things that would have derailed me, and I would have said, okay, you know what, forget it. It's just not meant to be. And this, you know, little 6-year-old, 5-year-old tantrum would come out and like, oh, forget it. Like right now I'm a little bit annoyed, but it's just, it's reading these kinds of things kind of puts things into perspective. And it's like, you know what if I did? What if I gave in to that little child? Then I wouldn't be celebrating a victory. I would be upset and angry at myself because I didn't finish. I didn't do it. You know, and there are so many different things that you can write down, little challenges for yourself. From the smallest, even if it's a small little thing, it's something to celebrate if you complete it. Because once you complete that task, that challenge, man, it feels really, really good. You know, like in my case, to finish the Tai Chi and the Vinyasa Yoga certifications, as I mentioned, it'd be something that I'd be so happy to do, you know. And then finally teaching what I'm already certified in, you know, practice a few times in front of family and friends. And then, you know, once I do that, then that's like a challenge to myself. Before, when I was looking for that certification, it was a challenge just to be on Zoom, just to be looking at myself in, you know, in the camera while talking to other people or trying to teach, which is what you have to do. You have to teach a certain part in order to get certified and memorize all these things. So that was a challenge that, you know, I did, and I completed. It was a challenge for myself. And of course my brother was there, because he always is, supporting me, and I was able to get through it because of his support. But I could have just as easily backed out and said, you know what, I'm not doing this. And I didn't, because if I did, I definitely would have regretted it. So, you know, things like this are great, you know, to stick on your wall as a reminder to, okay, what am I going to do today? What can I do today? You know, and then also make a note to yourself to celebrate the small victories. Even write them down, and you stick on your refrigerator, so every time you go into the kitchen or maybe another room that you're always in, you know, stick these little things that you've done, that challenges you've completed, or a reminder to celebrate those challenges, you know, so that when you go into that room, you're reminded, well, this is what I did on Monday. This is what I did on Tuesday. You know, it can be something as simple as reading a book. You know, sometimes, you know, people, they buy a ton of books and they never read them. You know, and it's like, oh man, we've been dying to read this book. And once they read it, it's like, oh, that's great. You feel so good because you got through it from cover to cover. And that's maybe small to some, but it should be something that you can celebrate, between that or knitting a sweater, which is a big deal as well, or going out for that run, cooking a new dish. Some people are afraid to get into that kitchen. And if you find a simple recipe, you'd be surprised how, not only how quickly it comes together, how great it tastes, but the fact that you feel so euphoric after having completed that. So that's pretty much it for today. I hope you enjoyed this, and just remember that you are capable of completing whatever challenges you set for yourself. See you next time.